I've made some progress with my research. Come. Sorry to keep you on tenterhooks, but I finished my examination of the Rasetsu now. As I'd predicted, a paltry amount of celestial thread remains in the Deathstalker's system. Far less than I would normally expect to see. It must have been struggling to absorb thread for quite some time, which probably explains its appearance on the Spirit Isle. It was trying to satisfy its hunger.
Well, why there? It's hardly the easiest place to get to. Why not head for the canyon first?
Yes, we can only conclude there must be some reason why it chose the island. The question is, what reason? Perhaps it was routed by a stronger kimono, for example?
Bakana. There's no other kimono that could have threatened that thing.
Well, nevertheless, it's clear that this Rasetsu was fighting for its life, searching desperately for celestial thread, which should ordinarily be abundant in these parts. Just as humans have fought over land and resources since the dawn of time, kimono try to gain supremacy over those around them in order to survive. It's the providence of nature. Yes, most probably. The kimono have been peaceful for years, but now they're starting to push violently into new territory. An alarming trend.
So, it won't stop with the wolf and the bear? Other kimono will follow, you mean? Surely not Amaterasu, though. The bird of auspice is a different beast.
Let us revert our attention back to the Rasetsu, and the attack on it by Amaterasu at the Frozen Fort. The after effects of that conflict may already be starting to show, in disturbances in the weather or surrounding flora, for example. I hope my fears are unfounded, but Minato could conceivably be affected, so I wonder if you'd revisit the castle and look around? Consider it a hunting request, if you will.
Nandayo. We escaped mortal danger only to be told to turn around and march straight back into it? Well, sounds like we got our orders, Chief. Let's just hope we don't run into any more of those wolves. Wait, doesn't the forest look strange to you over there? That must be what this is talking about. I'll look around and see if anything else looks unusual. Shout if you run into trouble. Feels strange knowing it's gone. Almost lonely somehow. Not in a place like this. Chief, feeling you wouldn't take much longer dispatching that thing. Excellent work. But look at this place. Clouds of spring blossoms here in the snowy peaks. That was an unusually powerful boar. Must have left the old blossom trail and crossed the snowy mountains to get here. And he would have to be tough to make that journey. But how could one king tusk be so different from another? And why is it so hot here? There shouldn't be flowers blooming in the snow like this. We should get back and report to the sensei.
Can you hear me? Either of you. If you can hear, then answer.
Natsume, dosta? Are you in trouble?
A huge kimono. Here in Minato. There's a...
Oi, Natsume, what's going on? What huge kimono? We need to get back to town fast. I've got a very bad feeling about this. The bird of auspice? Attacking? It's just another kimono in the end. Not to be trusted. First things first, let's make sure everyone's safe. What a damned mess! You...
Fujishige-san! Disaster! Thank the spirits you're back safe. The town is... it's too awful. But we have to tend to the wounded. Can you see what you can do? We need help. All the help we can get. Arigatou gozaimasu. The last of the fires have finally been put out. It was the bird of auspice. Amaterasu attacked us. She destroyed people's homes. Tried to kill people even. We did our best to defend ourselves, but it was so sudden. The hunters had their hands full just trying to get people to refuge. Karakuri all over Minato are in ruins. Even the spirit wheel.
The situation is dire on the seaward side of town. Every residence lies in ruin.
We were powerless to do anything. All we could do was run for cover. It was pitiful. The bird of... well, Amaterasu has flown over the town in the past. But she's never shown any sign of attacking before. We never felt that we were in any danger from her. I suppose we were reassured by that. We felt secure, but we'd been lulled into a false sense of security.
Kimono are oblivious to the feelings of humans. Large kimono, the Great Bear and Amaterasu, for example, see humans like ants. A nuisance easily brushed aside. But we treat kimono as they treat us. If they are a nuisance, we too strive to eliminate them. What in times of peace you call the bird of auspice, in times of war, you will simply call the enemy.
You're so right.
What is lost. We must turn our faces from the past and gaze into the future.
But... what can we... Actually, yes. You're right again. There is something I can do.
Perhaps a perusal of my wares would be as good a place to start as any. And what of you, Hunter? An essential task, I have little doubt. But perhaps not one to prioritize over an assessment of the town? Haste hurts progress, as they say. I believe your place should be here in Minato's greatest hour of need.
I don't believe this.
We can't give up. If we all pitch in and work together, we can overcome this. I really believe that.
This is...
What a miserable sight. The Hunter's town in such disarray. Were there more like you among your ranks? Perhaps this tragedy could have been prevented. But for mere mortals, the aggressor was too strong. The Kemono grow ever more desperate. They tussle for territory. They clash for prey. Hunger now drives them to kill one another. And Minato is not the only casualty. Soon across all of Azuma, nature will be destroyed. Plants will wither. Lizards will howl. Mountains will crumble. Until finally rising waters will cover it all. But in you is the power to stop this. In you, there is the seed. For some, it is a duty. For others, destiny. And for you, you have the strength to hunt these gargantuan kemono. But do you have the will? What compels you to hunt now? The same blithe answer still. Then you will overcome this challenge with ease, no doubt. There is resolve in your words, unfaltering and true. Which leaves but one thing to say. You must value life, or all that awaits is death. Above all, survive.
Say Amaterasu comes back. Would Minato get wiped out? Don't bother trying to be a hero. My father said the same thing to me once, only to have a samurai cut him down without a second thought. If Minato's flattened, I don't have anywhere else to go. No home, no family. No point thinking about the future. We don't even know if we have one.
Everything we see and touch turns to dust eventually. Objects, people, places. Minato is no different. It must have an end. Like everyone else, I've seen my fair share of ends. More than my fair share, perhaps. The village I grew up in burned to the ground overnight. The thieves who torched it, a pile of rotting corpses. Daimyo Ishido, destroyed by war, then finished by Kemono. Everyone fights it. But when the time for your end comes, nothing can save you. I learned that a long, long time ago. But even after this horrible attack, I see a flicker of hope in your eyes. I see defiance. I know someone else with eyes like yours. But I don't understand where your strength comes from.
It's true that my father always used to say, people are scary creatures, but kemono are even worse. Humans attack out of hatred or greed. They destroy property because it's in the way. Kemono don't think like that. That bird is just acting on instinct, flying around, beating its wings, snapping its jaws, and not even needing a reason to do it. But when nature bares its fangs at us, sometimes we have to stand up to it. For our families and for our friends.
We were naive. We should never have assumed it wouldn't attack us.
There is so little I can do to help. How fortune smiled upon us when she led you our way.
I have a good picture of how things are around the fort now. I could hear everything over the karakuri. No doubt there's a connection with this disaster. It's imperative that we act swiftly. Although, I'm at a bit of a loss to know quite how. For the time being, ask around and see what details you can discover about Amaterasu. I need to gather my thoughts.
That giant bird did this, surely.
We know Amaterasu was attempting to establish territory around the old castle. That resulted in the ousted Rasetsu's failed attempt at taking the Spirit Isle. Yes. We're seeing more and more kemono leaving their usual stomping grounds. And there can only be one logical cause, of course!
Of course. Maybe this is one time we should just jump to the conclusion, Sensei.
All across Azuma, and perhaps beyond, the celestial thread that sustains kemono is drying up. That explains why Amaterasu targeted the town. Celestial thread is now in abundant supply here.
Are you trying to say...
Exactly. It's trying to absorb Minato into its territory. Reviving the karakuri on the Spirit Isle was... cavalier.
But that was done for Minato's survival. The Hime-sama, the elders, everyone agreed it was the right thing to do. Anyway, what's done is done. Now we have to eliminate this bird before it gets too damn comfortable in our town. We need your skills here. Find out where Amaterasu is now.
No. The burden's too great for a lone hunter. And besides, rather than blindly searching, waiting here would be far more practical. We can be sure it will return. It will be eager to conclude its territorial claim.
Then we have to bolster our defenses. And fast. Can we ready the karakuri we used against the Earthbreaker? This is akin to siege warfare, though the investment is a single foe. We need to prepare and deploy carefully. I'll take command.
Goodness, Ujishige! Such motivation and not a sake cup in sight!
Who do you think I am? I was a samurai general once. Now, I've got 100 things to do. I'll leave the karakuri with you.
Well, his military expertise will certainly be useful. But we can't ignore the overwhelming strength of our enemy. We need a secret weapon. In fact, I was just talking to Natsume about that. It's probably better if she explains herself. You should find her assessing the damage to the spirit wheel.
Just when we'd managed to get the wheel working again. Now it's completely mangled. what we did on the Spirit Isle was... No. It's alright. I can fix this. I've just been talking to Suzura-sensei. Do you remember what I told you before about how there used to be another tower next to the Spirit Wheel? A second giant karakuri? From what I can tell by studying that stone tablet, it was a weapon used to repel kemono. I think we can reconstruct it. Making it sound easy. Obviously, we couldn't possibly build it from scratch at this stage. But if we fix the wheel and hooked another old karakuri into its mechanism, we should be able to make it work like the other tower did. Or at least, that's the theory. The first stage is to have Ren-san and her crew repair the main structure. We could really do with your help too. Would you be able to gather the materials we need for the karakuri part? It's a very old device that I can't put together with things I have lying around. It's going to take some rare materials with unusual properties. As it happens with the kemono fighting each other for territory at the moment, their bodies seem to be undergoing changes. We might be able to get the sort of materials we need from these clashing kemono, but they're fiercer than ever. So please be extra careful. I don't want you to get hurt. Arigato. Then let's not waste any time. Arigato. That's perfect. We'll be able to make great progress with this. With Uchishige-san organizing everyone to help, we only have a few finishing touches to make now before the weapon is ready. I've never seen him working so hard before.
Maybe we're seeing an echo of the man he used to be. Not that I'd know.
So many people who end up in Minato have had difficult pasts. Uchishige-san is no different. But I think he's finally letting go and rediscovering his samurai roots.
Minato is a unique place. A lot of different grains working together here in unexpected ways. Somehow, you all seem to rub along. And when a crisis hits the town, you all prop each other up. It's really quite inspiring. So, you can count on me and my crew to do our bit too.
We already think of you and your carpenters as part of the town. We're all in this together against Amaterasu. Would you mind going to see how Uchishige-san is doing? We've got things under control here. Oh yes, one more thing. Obviously, we'll all do our best, but none of us know what this battle with Amaterasu will bring. Perhaps this would be a good time for you to have a think about which karakuri might come in useful. When the unforeseen happens, even simple karakuri might just tip the balance in our favor.
We're ready, or as ready as we'll ever be. Everyone knows their positions and duties. So this is how we'll have to face the enemy. How about you? All set for the hunt? Good to hear. All right then, let's take a walk. The town's never pulled together like this before. At least not since I've lived here. And it's all because of you. You, who helped restore the town's karakuri, hunted all those kemono, and saved us from the giant bear. You've sparked hope. Without that, we'd all be floundering now. You've given people the strength to believe they can't win. That goes for me too. since you settled that score with the wolf for me. The simple fact is, I envy you. How you just marched into Minato, here over the sacred mountain. My master and my Hime-sama would have been safe with you. You can defeat Kemono, none of us can even touch. When the sensei suggested you hunt the Deathstalker, well, I didn't want to accept it. I almost didn't want to take you to the castle. Not with this pathetic excuse for an arm. Not with this damn joke of a leg. I wanted to finish the scourge off myself. If only I still had an ounce of fight left in me. But no one else could have got you safely to the castle. And if you hadn't made it back because I'd refused to help, then... well... I could do without more on my conscience. Anyway, you know the rest. It had been weighing me down all these years. But now, the weight has been lifted a little. I owe it to those I couldn't protect then, to do my best to protect us now. Between the two of us, this battle is as good as won already. So, let's make a move. We don't know when the bird might strike again. Samurai General Daidoji Ujishige of the Ishido clan is ready for action!
Go easy! Take your time! And pull! And pull!
Looks like that's worked out nicely, Natsume.
Yes. This little one will bring it down for sure. After all the blood and sweat my ancestors and I have poured into it, it has to.
Who knows? Maybe you won't even have to see any action, Chief. This is it! To arms, everyone! Let's move.
But the closer she comes, the better we can reach her.
Can you buy us some time, Chief? Slow her down! Use is fine! It's almost suicide, but it's our only move!
Sorry!
Finished!
We need time to prepare. Can you keep her at bay? We won't miss next time. Just give us one more chance. Come on! All hands on deck! Keep up the pressure!
Absorbing celestial thread from her surroundings?
Looks like she's hoarding energy in her wings.
Fascinating. But we can't let this fight go in her favor.
this. Do it!
Now, stay down. Poison.
This creature might actually fall.
The mighty Amaterasu driven into a corner.
All right now, keep your nerve.
Go! Finish this!
All in place. Stay strong. Feel weak. Now, stay down. We did it. I don't see him. Where is he? Oh, he's alive. Everyone, look! He's alive!
That's left me feeling quite weak.
What a sight to behold. Gently with that now. Imagine you are cradling your lover.
Hey!
Try cradling it yourself.
No! Further that way! Like this!
Yes, leaning more to the right, I think.
It's starting to look like a town again.
Over here!
Well, it won't be exactly the same as it was before. But anyway, people want a new Minato. And they expect you to give it to them. You've earned a lot of trust.
You really have. And together, we can build a better town. And a better future.
I heard all about it. They made quite a fuss of you, huh, Chief? Stick to what you know. That's the lesson here. You had to step in and save us in the end anyway. Hey, what's wrong? Don't try to put a brave face on it. If something's the matter, the sensei should examine you. You hear me?